about to head out on my food walking tour. I can't wait. Let's do it. First, we're off to get cannoli and an espresso, the way to start the morning. All right, so we just got our cannolis. Oh my God, it was amazing. So the pastry was very, very fresh, not soggy, because they pipe it fresh for you, and it was just like coming out of it. The ricotta cheese, so it's sheep's milk ricotta cheese that they use, and they mix it with a bit of sugar. Oh my God, it was really, really good. And then you could get different toppings, so you could get hazelnut, pistachio, almond, orange, chocolate, cherry. There were a bunch of different options. And this place is known as the king of cannolis, which I thought was kind of cool. And apparently cannoli, like cane, sugar cane, so originally they wrapped the pastry around sugar cane, deep fried it, and then piped it full of the ricotta mixture. And then we also got espresso, and she talked about how this gentleman Luigi had a factory back in the day, and the coffee breaks were taking too long because every time they wanted to make a coffee, it took about 5 minutes to boil this pot. But he then tinkered around and made the first espresso machine in 1903, and then of course became very wealthy, and that's exactly what his family does. And there's like a chain that's like a staple that's been around forever, and that was the first stop. It was wonderful. I highly suggest it. We just got to eat at Bonci. Oh my God. So Anthony Bourdain kind of put him on the map. Vogue also wrote about him, said he makes Michelangelo's pizza, aka best pizza ever. It's really, really crisp on the bottom and then fluffy and tender. It takes 3 days to make, 2 in the fridge, 1 out in the air for it to rise and get fluffy. Really interesting toppings. And it was the best pizza of my life. Also, he walked by, so we got to see him, which was kind of cool.
So, this is the spicy one. Ricotta, mushrooms, almonds, spicy spreadable andouillas, the red stuff on top. Puntarella, burrata, tomato base with an anchovy sauce. Cooked prosciutto and mozzarella, and then pancetta with a pumpkin base and Parmigiano Reggiano cheese.
So we just went to a little shop and we tried 4 different bites, and we had a nice white wine that was delightful. The first bite was pesto, and apparently pesto's not supposed to have garlic. It's just supposed to have basil, extra virgin olive oil, salts, I want to say, and then 2 different kinds of cheeses, pecorino and I want to say Parmesan. It was really nice on just a plain cracker. Then we had a piece of Asiago with a black truffle pate. Then we had a piece of cheese that had a little bit of balsamic reduction, aged 30 years, and it was really cool to hear about the balsamic. It goes through, I think she said 5 different kinds of barrels, all made of different kinds of wood, and they don't always dump out all of the balsamic. So you're having this balsamic and you're having it from whenever they started making it in these barrels. Still, there's a little bit of that in it, which I thought was really neat. And it just keeps reducing, 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 and almost tastes sort of raisiny, caramelly because it's so, so aged. And then the last bite was a truffle, a black truffle infused cheese, pecorino cheese. Oh, this tour is amazing. We're going to the market next, so I'm really excited to see that. Market was fantastic. We got a homemade sort of eggplant parmesan. I don't remember the Italian name, started with an M. Oh, so cheesy, so tomatoey, and the eggplant was just the right amount of tender versus solid. You know, it wasn't spongy, but it wasn't mushy either. So very impressed by that. Then we went and got wine. They have these huge vats of wine, and you just tell them if you want dry or not, or sweet, white, red, and then you can fill up these different containers. And apparently some people will bring their own containers to be filled up, and then they give you the price, and it's super cheap. Then we went and got a Caprese salad, and it was made with that amazing buffalo mozzarella. So good. And she said if you don't see the liquid come out of it, the mozzarella is really old. This was just delivered today, and the tomatoes are just so fresh, and extra virgin olive oil and some basil. Then we finished off with a bunch of meats. We had a porchetta, which has the rind on it, or has the skin on it, the crispy skin, kind of salty, and it's cooked. And then you have the 2 cured ones, one of which is a lot more tender, and apparently they they have the life kind of thing. They drink cream and things like that. And then the other one was hand cut, and it was a lot more firm, with a more bold flavors, whereas the other one was a creamier, tenderer flavor. After that, we went to a restaurant, oh my gosh, and we had ravioli. They were really big, and they were stuffed with ricotta and spinach. And we also had gnocchi, which was the most tender gnocchi of the world, and it was made with a 4-cheese sauce. Then we had fried calamari, and then we had gelato, and they had the nicest flavors you would never see back home, like rosebud and something or another. I had 2 delicious flavors, check them out. So good. This tour was amazing. Now I'm heading back home, but man, I am perfectly full. Had a variety of wines, had a variety of everything to eat. Feeling good. Highly recommend the Roman tour. So good. So I'm starting to understand why so many people from all over the world move here to Rome. It is just beautiful. There's so much about it. I mean, obviously the food, being the fatty that I am, the food scene is unreal. The history is fantastic. I mean, there's just such a deep history here with mythology, with religion, fabulous. And then the people too. I mean, there are some spicy people. There are a lot of people that give you sort of the elevator and you don't know if they're judging you or if they love you. But it's also just such an international city as well. I've met so many people from all over the place. I'm definitely going to be sad to leave now that I've met some locals and I've toured around. I just feel really comfortable here, and I completely understand moving here. So this was my Monday. I have 2 more days here. I'm going to be seeing the Vatican and then this wonderful gallery and a couple other churches with Bernini in them. So I will be reporting back then, and thanks so much for watching.